Hey, thank you for coming to my show. I think you'll hear something today that makes you click that like button, share with your people, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Let's stay connected. Tell me what you think of the content. Here at Our Unseen Dads, I have the privilege of being joined by Mr. Wayne Logan. I've known Wayne probably for about, man, 20, maybe about 20 years. Brother Wayne, how you doing
Yeah,
this evening?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Dude, it's actually been more than 20 years because
Yeah,
I've known you since I was in high school, and
I was
I've been
about
out of
to
high
say.
school for 30 years.
I was about to say. That's why I paused because I was like, wait a minute, it's got to be longer than that.
Yeah, it's
Gotta be
about
longer
like
than that.
it's about like 32, 33 years I've
Yeah,
known you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, for sure,
but
for sure.
yeah, I'm cool.
That's what's up, man. So
Mhm.
how I like to start my shows is with this first question: Who are you?
I am a black light-skinned man from Evanston, Illinois. I went away to college for a few years, moved to Atlanta, came back, worked at one company for like hella years. Been a photographer like for, man, 30, shit. Man, maybe like 40 years. Nah, 40 years. I've been dealing with cameras and stuff, just, teaching myself how to use them, upgrading, getting better ones or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Starting a business. I got my own business, Hotbox Entertainment Incorporated. I am
Oh,
fully incorporated, so I'm legit in every aspect.
right on.
But yeah, I'm just a man, that supports his friends and family and raising a daughter in this crazy world that we live in right now, and just trying to make it.
Yeah, yeah. Who was your dad?
My dad, his name was Dwayne Foster. My mom gave me his first name, but not his last name.
Mm,
My father was really not in my life, period. Like,
mhm.
he'd come in, like, say hello and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because my mom didn't want the relationship to happen or whatever. She just was like, it's on him. This is before social media, cell phones, beepers, all of that. You know what I'm saying? So, people had to get up and go to like see their, relative, loved one or whatever. So he just chose not to.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
How,
so like, so when you ask me that question, I don't really know. I really don't know who he was because I never really got to know him. Like, people that that are older than me, like around my mother's age, they've told me stories about him or whatever, that he was this cool, handsome guy or whatever. But I don't know. I never got to meet any part of him. So I mean, really get to know any part of him. So I really don't know who he was.
did you ever get a chance to meet him, talk to him?
I mean, I've like been in this person, like, man, I'm 49 years old. He died in, I think, 2003. I think he passed. And I
Hmm.
think before then, as far as our interactions before 2003, maybe like 5 times in my life
Mm.
before he died in 2003. So, like, I seen him riding his bike. I seen him one day going to the liquor store. He came to my graduation, but he didn't stay. So that's it.
Yeah, yeah. How did that form your life as a young man? Like, what did you think? Did you think he didn't love you? Did you think he didn't care? Or did you even find out whatever happened with that?
To be honest with you, like, for the longest, like, it really didn't bother me. Like from what I take. Maybe it did now that I'm older and I look back at it now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it did, like, have an effect on me, and I just like put it to the side and just kept going and kept going. But as far as him not being in my life, like, it kind of made me like have to, because it was a series of events that happened that where I had to grow up quickly. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
like, the matriarch in my family, the person that I looked up to, that was my role model, died in a car accident. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it was just dramatic. I was 10 years old when she passed. And from 10 on, I mean, I ain't gonna say I've been on my own, but a lot of times I've been by myself. If I put it to you like that, and it's still kind of to this day. But as far as him not being in my life, yeah, I think it made a big impact. Now, when I was growing up, it didn't. But now, like, it kind of formed me into the person I am now. And it's kind of like, you know, I had to be a man sooner than I needed to be. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it made me like want to be like, whenever I decided to have children, now that I do have a daughter, but before then, I was like, I'm not going to be like him. I'm going to be involved in my child's life. And then once I had my daughter, ever since, we stuck. So.
Yeah. You. So before we go any further, you're going to make me emotional during this interview because our stories sort of intersect, you know what I mean? And so I'm a man who is not afraid to show emotion. So if I start crying, don't make it get you emotional in any way, shape, or form if that's not what you're feeling. All right. I just want to let you know.
It's all good, bro.
That's how I ride.
I'm not an emotional person, so
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like
this topic to me though is this topic is very emotional to me because it touches a lot of chords, right? Like I knew who my father was. I knew of my father. My father wasn't in my house, but I would go visit my father on weekends, right? And so, you know, there were things that happened. He had another family, and so I'm still close with my stepbrother today.
Mm-hmm.
But there were things in that relationship that just it formed who I am, just like you're saying, you know.
Yeah, like I have a stepsister, I have a stepbrother. I have a stepbrother. I'm going to say that because that's what I was told when I was younger. Certain parts of my father's family, they don't necessarily agree with that. Mm-hmm. But I was always told that was your brother. So he's my brother. And I have a sister. Half sister, half brother. We're not as close as we probably should be. You know what I'm saying? I'm the oldest out of everybody. And we probably should get closer. You know, like I did my sister's wedding. I was the photographer at my sister's wedding. My brother, I really don't see him. You know what I'm saying? Like he just kind of like popped back up on social media. You know, I don't know if he was having health issues, you know, something going on in his family. I don't know, but I feel like we need to get closer. You know what I'm saying? My father was so crazy. When I used to live by the high school off of Hertree and Church Street, he lived on Church Street right around the corner. Right around the corner. When I lived on Darrow and Greenleaf, he lived on Dewey and Greenwood, which was basically 2 blocks away. Yeah. So, you know, at least you got to go see your dad and hang out with him. I don't know what type of relationship y'all had or whatever, but I never got to hang out with my father. Never. Like I'm not angry with my father. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't get angry at somebody I never knew. You know what I'm saying? Wow. So, you know, unfortunately, our relationship didn't get a chance to grow at all. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have no hard feelings towards him. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't have no hard feelings against somebody I don't know. So, you know, I feel like it's his loss. So,
yeah, that's so true. It's so true. It's interesting you say that because I was always questioning why my father didn't come around, why he wasn't more present, right? And it was a combination of things. It was a combination of my mom. It was a combination of him not growing up with a father. So he couldn't teach me, or he didn't know what being a father was about, being a father was like. And one of the greatest things that ever happened in my life, man, was when my father knew my oldest son and he knew my youngest son before he passed, you know, and he said to me, I like how you deal with your sons, you know, I love it. Take care of those boys, you know, and it sticks with me to this day. So it's one of the things that I want to sort of pass along, that it's important that dads, especially black dads, we're always in our children's lives. Like one of my buddies said, he said, you know, he said, black men, I don't know a black dad that's not in their child's life.
You know what? That's real.
I know a deadbeat dad.
Right. That's real.
He said, we might have problems and troubles with relationships, but our children, oh man, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's
Most
so
of my
true.
friends, most of my male friends are all good fathers. Like
Yeah,
they might not have the best relationship with the kid's mother, but they all are good fathers. I have no deadbeat father friends. I mean
yeah,
friends, fathers. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. It's so true. It's so true. What have you learned from your dad?
not to be like him,
Mm,
not to be not involved in the child's life, in my child's life. Like my
mhm.
daughter is everything. Like man, like I had bought my house and then my daughter was born. You know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, what the hell am I about to do? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to be a dad. I was raised by a single mother. You know what I'm saying? With a family of other women. You know what I'm saying? I've never had a male role model in my life. Like never.
Yeah.
My great grandfather was the closest thing to it. Marshall, that used to work at the barbershop at Ebony
Yes, sir.
Barbershop. He
Yeah.
was the second thing close to it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, I got an uncle. I'm sorry. He might end up seeing this shit. I'm sorry to say it. I love you to death, but you were not the greatest role model of being a man. So I would just say that. But
Yeah.
other than that, like I've never had any type of father figure, anything. I've had to learn everything on my own. You know what I'm saying? As far as being a man, as far as women, like everything I've had to learn on my own. I had no help as far as no father, none.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
mom, she wasn't about to teach me that shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I had to
Yeah.
get out and experience and then learn it myself. So, like, my mom had me at 17. We grew up together pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had our trials and tribulations.
Yeah.
You
No
know
doubt.
me. You know what I'm
No
saying?
doubt.
You kind of know my story. You know what
Oh, I
I'm
know
saying? You
your
might not
story.
know all the details and all
Right.
the underlying shit, but you
Right.
know my story. You know who my mother. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
she's a beast. My mom's
Yes,
a
she
beast in
is.
so many different ways. You know what
Yes,
I'm
she
saying?
is.
So, I didn't have time to be like like sad and sensitive and all that shit. It was like you better handle your business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. 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 No doubt. No doubt. It strengthens you. It strengthens you. What um what messages did your dad teach you that you're teaching your daughter? I know you say you didn't really grow up with your dad, but what messages did you get from him that you're now passing along to your child, if any?
well, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not getting. I haven't learned anything from him. It's like I'm just trying to be different from him. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I'm trying to be involved in every aspect of my daughter's life. I was, I mean, me and her mother, we're not together when our daughter was conceived. We were not a couple, whatever.
Mhm.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, it at the beginning it was rough. I have to admit I did a lot of dumbass shit. But hey, that was me being nervous and like learning that I was about to be a father for the first time. Like I was scared. That's pretty much being scared. So
Mhm.
then, like, my daughter's born. I was there. I was there for the baby shower, everything. I was there, everything. And once I saw my daughter born, I was like, I have her back. I will, unless something happens to me, God forbid, I'm going to be there for her until I'm not breathing. And there's no way that anything could separate me from her. And the one thing I could say that I learned from my father is that I don't want to like let anything, no stories or what happened in the past that might have made him do and be the person that he ended up being. I can't do that because this is my daughter. I love her. I want to see her grow, and I want to make sure that she knows that I love her. You know what I'm saying? So, for one thing, I didn't that I guess I learned from him is to show love to my child. So that's what I learned from him, to show love to my child because I never received it from him. So
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like your daughter, because your daughter is, I think, about what, a year? No,
5,
she's 5. Yeah.
yeah.
So do you see her looking at you at 5 years old in a way that everything you do is magnificent and magnanimous?
You know what? My daughter is smart as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard to tell sometimes. I mean, you know, like, I tried to like instill certain things into her, like that her mom probably does in certain different ways or whatever. And she knows that, you know, like when she does something wrong, like, you know, it's gonna be an issue with me or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like sometimes I don't even have to do it because she knows better. Like, it's like ever since she was a baby, she didn't mess with outlets. She didn't mess with like stuff under the sink. It's like she knew better not to even touch that shit. So it's like when I talk to her, she amazes me to this day of her vocabulary. I can see her thinking, like trying to solve problems and shit. And I be like, look at this. This is what I created. And look at her trying to solve a problem, like, and say words and question things that, and I'd be like, damn, I probably wasn't thinking about this as a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? My daughter is taking cooking class in kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? It's just, she's teaching me love. That's what I would say. My daughter is teaching me love, because to keep it all the way 100 with you, I don't think I've ever been in love before. Like I've used the word like I love you to people before, and I know this is probably gonna be seen, but I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, it just, I had love for people, but it just wasn't, you know, I'm in love. Okay, I guess I wasn't in love. Okay, that's what.
So let me cut you off right there and ask you, why do you think that is? Because I'm sure there's some women that you had strong feelings for.
Oh yeah.
And of course you said I love you. And part of you said I love you, and part of you was like, brother, you don't mean I love you. What are you talking about?
Right.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think that's part of my like childhood growing up, as far as like, you know, I would show love. I can't say that I was never show love when I was a child. Never.
No
I can't. That's not true. You know what I'm saying?
No
My
doubt.
mom did the best she could. You know, I was her first and only child. You know, like she didn't know nothing about raising no man at 17 years old. So it's like, you know, it was hard. It was hard, like loving my mother. It was hard.
You saw her more as a sister.
Yes, we had a more brother-sister relationship because we only 17 years apart. Me and my mom was only 17 years apart. That sounds crazy. But we only 17 years apart. And it's like we grew up together, so it was tough love. We, you know, my mom had issues back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And them issues used to affect me, and we would get into it. And a lot of those issues made me not love her because she loved something else more than she loved me. And I always felt that like I was a mistake for like a long time. That like she didn't really want me. It was just like she had to, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't feel love for a long time. Even though I had people that loved me. Like I've had women, I've had the women in my life have been awesome and amazing women, like everything. And like I just find ways to mess it.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. It's not that you found ways to mess it up. It's that you said it. You said it. Your mom is 17 years older than you. And when we first met, I remember telling Art, like, damn, he's a grown man.
Look, when I first met Art, my mom was in prison.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a grown man. Like, that's your homeboy, but he's doing grown man things while still being in high school. So you gotta, you know what I'm saying, notice that and see that and recognize that and respect that. Right? So it tells me immediately that you probably had about you probably had about 5 to 7 loves in your life.
Yeah.
The problem was you didn't see it that way. And it had nothing to do with the woman, right? It had nothing to do with the woman, but everything to do with your experience, right?
I was a little damaged, I guess.
Yeah, it's all good. Brother, we all damaged, man. We are all damaged. Like,
that part did really ruin. It kind of, I ain't gonna say ruin, but it did mess me up.
It's a reality.
You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be hard for me to trust people.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to like let myself open completely up to like people, because I always be worried like they gonna disappoint me and I'm gonna be salty, and it's like
that's your experience.
I just hold it in, and and I just keep moving and like go.
It's been your experience, and if it's been your experience, then you are not wrong for that, right? It's just it's the way it is, bro, and it's sad. It's sad, but life goes on in a sense, and you can't take time to wallow in what happened to you in the past, because now you've got a future that you need to upbring, and you need to, so it's like, I know what happened to me, but I don't have time for that, because
look, when I was younger, right, like I've been living damn near by myself since I was 11 years old. You know what I'm saying? My grandfather, once my great grandmother died, he moved out. We still own the place where we was at, but we moved out. He moved out, and then my mom was supposed to stay upstairs, but she moved to the west side, and then she was doing her thing, and then like it was just like my friends would all come over through high school, and I never really even said this to none of my friends. They really don't, like, a lot of the shit, they don't even know what I had to go through. Like, they'd all come over, kick it, we be doing our thing, as teenagers and shit. They all leave. I'm by myself. They all go, like, most of my friends, I ain't gonna say all of them, but a nice big percentage had both their parents in the house. But they was going home to their mom, daddy, maybe an uncle, maybe a brother, maybe a sister. All of them leave. I'm at home. I'm just looking at the walls, like.
It's interesting you say that, bro, because I remember
nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just sitting there. And then I go to sleep. Then I stay up all night. I think that's another problem with me now. Like, I could stay up all night, get a few hours of sleep, be perfect throughout the day, and that's how I used to be.
It's interesting because I used to think about that same thing that you just mentioned. Like, when I'd leave the crib, I'd be like, man, so when we all leave, what's it like? You know what I mean? Like, because like you said, we go home to our mothers, our fathers, or
somebody.
Somebody. But you don't go home to nobody. There's nobody that's gonna come home to you. And I always thought about that, bro. No doubt. I really did. I always thought about that.
Yeah, like everybody used to be like, Wayne, you got your own apartment. I'm like,
it's not.
But it's not as great as you might think it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I barely have furniture.
It's true. It's true. What are some of the unique experiences and joys that you've experienced with your daughter?
Man, when she was first born, like when they put her, like after she came out of her mother, they put her on the table, and she, like, I don't know what it was, but she grabbed my finger. You know what I'm saying? She grabbed my finger and held on to it, and I was like, damn. I was like amazed. It was like amazing. It was like a feeling of like I just felt real warm.
I know,
like
you
real
did,
warm
bro.
inside. It was just
like
love. It was like the first day I fell in love.
Unconditional love, unconditional, like
it was like I looked at her and I was like, no matter what I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? To keep to support her and just show that I love her. You know what I'm saying? Because she's my everything. That's, like, I'm telling you, dude, if I didn't have my daughter right now, shit would probably be different for me. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't own the house that I'm in now, because or if I did, I probably wouldn't stay here. I'd probably be rented out and gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have really had no reason to stay here. So
Yeah. But you got a house.
yeah,
She's got her own room.
our
Her
own
own room,
room.
her own room is decorated so that when she
Yeah,
comes, she
man.
walks in
The
her
first
room.
I,
Yeah.
like I said, I own this house as she's grown up. The
Yeah.
first 3 years, I had toys all over my living room, all over my living room. Every time somebody come in my crib, like, man, excuse me, I mean, you know, shit, it's toys, you know.
Yeah. This is my daughter's house. This ain't my house.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if she want to paint her room pink, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
thank God she ain't said that yet. So.
Yeah. But as a black dad or as a dad, what is your greatest superpower?
Me being able to listen and to show compassion and guidance and to let her know that I got her back.
Mm. Yeah. How are you going to let her know that you have her back? I mean, she's 5.
From
You know what I mean?
all the love I'm gonna show her. Where like, say something had, God forbid, something happened to me, she gonna know that her father loved her before, you know, whatever happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I just gotta pour myself into her. You know what I'm saying? As far as the love that I've never experienced,
Yeah.
I'm experiencing it with her. She's the love of my life.
I wonder, do you think you're open so much because it's a girl, or do you, or would
And I think if it was a boy, it'd probably be even more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'd probably have him more. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, getting his hair cut. You know what I'm saying? Like I do my daughter's hair, but her mom does her hair.
You do her hair?
Like I said, I do
That's
her
what's
hair,
up, baby.
but
That's
her
what's
mom
up.
does her hair. But I do her hair though. You
That's
know
what's
what I'm saying?
up.
I do her hair, but not as good as her mom does it. You know what I'm saying? But
Of course, no doubt.
you know.
That's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. Fathers got to learn that. You know what I mean?
I
Fathers
know, I
gotta
had no
learn that.
choice. I mean, I probably never learned to braid or none of that type of stuff. Because
Yeah.
my little cousin Candy, I can always call her, be like, hey, cuz I need you to hook Alina's hair up, and she'll have no problem. But her mom got her good.
What are some of your biggest challenges you faced as a black dad?
Man, just like I had worked a job for 15 years and got laid off, you know what I'm saying? Because of COVID.
Mhm.
And like when that happened, you know, fortunately for me, I still have my own business. So I was able to fall back on certain parts of income, but not stuff that just pays everything that I needed to pay. So when that happened, I was like, damn, you know, like what I'm gonna do, you know what I'm saying? So for a few years, like 2 years, I just decided to really put all my energy into Hotbox. And I survived, but I still ended up having to go back to work. And this year was my first year going back to work in the last 2 years, as far as corporate or whatever. So, you know, I bounced around, which was so crazy. I did a whole different type of profession. In the beginning of the year, I was a security guard. Never been a security guard ever in my life. Got all the license. I was top flight. I had the whole outfit. I did that for 2 months, and I was like, I have to find something else. Went into a corporate job. I was a temp for this one company. All why I'm saying this is because I'm like trying to provide for this little girl.
Right.
I'm running into these roadblocks of these temp companies and whatever. And then last Friday, I just, you know, my temp company just ended my assignment last Friday. So right now, Hotbox it is, you know what I'm saying? And I'm okay. God got my back. I ain't worried. You know, this is one of the times, like most of the times I be worried, like, you know, like what I'm gonna do. This time right now, I'm not worried. I know God has my back. I know he don't want me to fail. I know he don't want me to not be able to provide for my daughter. So where all this sums up to is just being able to provide for my daughter through all the messed up roadblocks and things that I have to deal with mentally, you know, physically, as far as keeping my mind sharp and not like getting depressed and having mental health issues and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my hardest to stay away from all of that. So my daughter helps me with that. And, you know, like seeing her smile and her face light up, it helps me, you know, even though I don't, you know, I see my daughter a lot, but it's like she doesn't live with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just being able to provide, bro.
What role does your own upbringing play in how you raise your daughter?
Well,
Yeah, because your upbringing is very different.
she has a mother and a father that's present and strong in her life. And my upbringing, my daughter will never, hopefully, ever have to go through what I went through. So it's going to be the exact opposite, where I'm going to PTA meetings, going to conferences, you know what I'm saying? Going to, like, you know, school functions where I need to, like, chaperone and all that stuff. I'm doing all of that. I'm going to do all of that, you know, when it's time for me to do it. So my upbringing, as far as with the transition into my daughter, it will never be like that. Never. So that's my goal, is to, so she don't have to experience the stuff. I will, you know, she gonna hear my stories. Right. She gonna hear my stories. I can't, you know, like, you know, not let her know how her dad came up. Yeah. But she's not gonna go through what I went through. She's already not going through what I went through, because she has a present father that's been in her life since she's been born. I didn't have that. So
yeah. How's the relationship with Chino?
They love each other to death.
Yeah. Just imagine that.
Yeah, it's crazy. They look just like each other. Being put on her. They look just like each other. Like when they was kids, I'm telling you, you saw my mom as a baby, as her age, they look just, I think she looks more like my mom than she looks like me. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, I could just imagine what Chino is teaching that young girl, and it's a beautiful thing, because, you know, as you said, your mom had you at 17, right? So, I mean, the way our parents parented us is very different than the way they parent their grandchildren. Yeah. Right? It's sort of unexplainable. Right, because you look at me like, are you the same woman that raised me? Like, you would never let me get away with that. Man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I could just imagine what Chino's sprinkling, the gems she's sprinkling on her, man. It's yeah. How do you plan on discussing race and identity with your daughter? Thank God I still got a little bit of time. I got a little bit of time. A little bit of time before I really need to get into that. I mean, you know, where she go to school at is diverse. So she be around all types of nationalities and all of that stuff. But, like, she's not there yet. You know what I'm saying? So maybe in a year, after this school year, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be that time. You know what I'm saying? But right now, kindergarten, you know, when it gets to that time, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with her. You know, when she's able to really understand what I'm saying to her, and, you know, just have her read certain things, and, like, you know, this is your background. This is your history. Don't let, you know, people tell you, you know, that these books that you know, this is what you need to read. But we ain't there yet. So I got a little time.
You got a little time. Yeah. What do you experience? So when you have father-daughter time, how is that experience for you? Do you see, obviously you see the love that she has for you, right? But do you see, because I know she's only 5, but do you see that she's really sort of looking at you as a template of a man that she needs to know? Do you see her looking at you as sort of an example of what a man is? Because that's your daughter. I don't have a daughter, and I've heard that the love that a daughter has for a father is basically unmatched, right? How do you feel when you're with your daughter? Is I guess where I'm getting at.
Every time I pick my daughter up, she's running to me, hugging me like warm embrace, like
Yeah.
every time. I mean, like every time, and I love that feeling. Like as soon as she see me, she be like, "Daddy, Daddy," and just running to me like with all her might to give me a hug and show me love. And I just every time I pick her up, I'm picking her up on Friday. Every time I pick her up, it's like she just the love just envelops me and just you know what I'm saying? Like I just feel I be so scared driving because I be wanting to protect her. Like I'm a speeder, you know what I'm saying? But when she's in the car, I'm like very defensive.
You doing 10 under the speed limit.
Well, nah, I ain't doing 10 under the speed limit. Nah, I'm still, you know, doing my thing, but I'm not doing it dangerously. But I be like so worried, like I be one like when I don't feel safe until she's in my house. After I pick her up from her mom, because they live on the south side. So I got to drive all the way to the south side to get her. I don't feel safe until we are walking into my house because I be so worried about cars and people and like, you know, I got to get this is precious cargo. I got to get her home. But I'd rather hang out with her than be in any club, any bar, anything. Like that's my baby.
How does having a daughter change your movements? Right?
Just
you know what I mean, right?
Yeah. It well, I put it. It don't necessarily have to do because I think you know what?
It changes your movements.
Yeah, it changes the movement. Because I was gonna say is like it really don't matter that I had a daughter. I think me just having a child, period. But I think if I had a son, I would move a little different than having a daughter because I don't know. It's just a weird thing of like. I don't know, like maybe my son would experience more of a man thing than with a daughter. You trying to be like gentle and you know loving. I mean, you're gonna be loving with your son as well, but you want to kind of toughen him up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I want to toughen my daughter up too, but it's not to the point where like I'm just like do this, be tough. No. Reassuring, like you know. Being like, don't feel bad that you know you didn't make it this time, or like you know, just having her back, just being able to uplift her and like have her, you know, not feel down or whatever. But as far as moving around, like, man, it like I.
So I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
So my oldest, he's 18 now.
Okay.
And when I was when I was dating his soon to be stepmom, he would come to us on the weekends, right? And so he would see me open the door for her. He would see me open the door, the car door. He would see me open the door to let her in the house, or so on and so forth. And probably as he was rounding about 5 years old, he started running to do the things that he saw daddy do. Right. And so I guess I'm wondering, because at some point in time your daughter is going to see you with another woman, right? And so if she hasn't already, but in case she hasn't, how do you feel that's going to change your movements as a man? Because you want to teach her, she is going to be, or let me rephrase that, you are going to be the example, right, of her man.
Well, I mean, like, I respect women like crazy. Like, I would never be disrespectful. Like, it takes a lot for me to get upset, first of all. You know what I'm saying? No, second of all, I've never really been disrespectful to women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know, like, opening doors. The chair thing, I've done that a few times, you know what I'm saying? But most women, they don't give a shit about the chair thing. As far as opening doors and all that, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna show her that, if she ever sees me around people, that I'm gonna treat them with respect. I'm gonna open doors. You ain't gonna hear me arguing or screaming or hollering or none of that. Yeah. And you gonna see your father being respectful to other people. That's my way.
Yeah. No doubt, man. It's interesting because I've noticed that one of my guests said it best. He said, men as fathers, we don't have problems with our kids. We may have relationship issues, but when it comes to our kids, oh man, right? And I found myself doing things to teach a lesson, to make a point, right? Because it's easier sometimes. Actions speak louder than words, and there are times when you don't think you're teaching your children a lesson, but you really are. Whether it's a good lesson, a bad lesson, they're always watching. Always watching. So one of the things I learned with my youngest son is they are always watching, right? And so that's one of the reasons why I asked the question, because you're not at that point yet, but the movements that you make now are being studied.
I know. That's why I don't have like multiple women around my daughter. I mean, I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's not happening.
She's watching daddy's every move.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I want her to, have respect. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show, the people that do come in her life, they going to know, she going to see that I respect them. Yeah. So like, it ain't going to be no craziness. So
it's a beautiful thing, brother. It's a beautiful thing. What does liberation look like for Black dads? And so we know liberation means freedom, so I'll ask it in a different way. Okay. One of my guests helped me to hook this up. Will the stigma of Black dads not being involved or invested over in their children's lives ever disappear?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, that's on the women. The women need to.
Why do you say that?
Because the women need to stop saying that they're single mothers when the father is present in their life. They're not single mothers, they're single women. And a lot of times when they keep saying single mother, and the father is present in the life, it just keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. I've never seen like any of my friends, like I said earlier, that's deadbeat. Like my friends that I went to college with, my friends that I worked at several different job locations, all of the fathers have been in their lives of different nationalities. All minorities though, but different nationalities or whatever, they've always been in their lives. I haven't seen a deadbeat father. So the only thing that's keeping that alive is the women.
That's interesting. I don't know if I've ever thought about that. And in thinking about that and hearing that, I don't know if it's
But look, I'm gonna tell you though, it is that, I mean, I hear stories. I do hear stories of men that like have children, but then get with a girl that has children, and then treat the children that's not even his better than his own children. That's a bad father as well. You know what I'm saying? But that's still, why would a woman want to be with a man that's not taking care of his kids?
Right. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I just think, the only way that's going to keep staying alive, hold on, is if the women, they got to stop saying that, they single mothers when they have a present father. You know what I'm saying? If the
Yeah.
father is present, they need to stop saying they single mothers. They single women. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. I've never heard that. But at the same, or let me rephrase that. I've never heard that as an answer to the question. And at the same time, I've never thought about it that way. You know, I mean, I've just never thought about it that way.
So
you know, and I guess that's true in a sense, but it can also be true on the opposite end. A man will easily and quickly say that the woman isn't any good, right? But that wasn't the question. The question was, and I've just never heard that. That maybe that's something that we might get some comments on, you know, on in the comment section.
Hopefully it ain't no hate.
No, hopefully it isn't. Because
but I mean, think about it though. Think about it. Like, I have a lot of friends. Like a lot. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of friends too.
Yeah.
Think about your friends. How many deadbeat fathers that do you know of?
Yeah, I don't know.
Think about it.
I don't know.
Like, I don't really know none. And I got a lot of male friends, and most of them are fathers, and none of them are deadbeat. So I haven't. I mean, I've experienced a deadbeat when I was younger. So older than, you know. But as far as my generation, and even like some younger generations, like the fathers are present. You know what I'm saying? So who keeps that alive? Who keeps that theory alive?
I'm not gonna say women keep that alive.
I'm not saying all women do that. But,
no, I know. Yeah.
You're
You're saying some women do.
Some women do.
Saying some women
they
do.
keep it alive.
I can see it. I'm not going.
Because
I've never heard that answer.
It's bitter baby mamas and bitter baby daddies. I mean, and that's what keeps. You know what? I'll take it back from saying the women. I will say bitterness keeps that notion alive, because it's not, I haven't seen it. So when people ask me that question, like, I ain't seen no deadbeat fathers. Most of the people that I grew up with that are dads, maybe a little older, maybe a little younger, none of them are deadbeats.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, let's stay connected.